Hi everyone, what's up? It's your boy Safe. Back at it again with another review. Hold on, I gotta send Dolpha a link. You can see it. Hold on. Just gotta do it very quickly. Okay, I sent the link. Anyway, so to start off with the lesson, if you okay, I'm gonna wait for a while until people join, and if they're not there, I'm just gonna start. Okay. Anyway, so to begin, you guys need to learn about two main chapters. Chapter 1, exploration, and chapter 2, isolation. You can say section or whatever. Okay. So for chapter 1, in the Europeans explore the East, you gotta learn about the European trade routes and why they wanted to explore in the first place. Okay, so to start, why? Okay, hold on. I have my notes here. Why would the Europeans want to explore in the first place? Like, what was their goal? Why did they want to do that in the first place? They could just, not do it. Why would they waste the money? Now, let me tell you the answer to that question, boy. So, first answer is that, yeah, there was after the Crusades happened, there was a lot of demands for goods for spices and silk and all that stuff, and cinnamon, jalapenos, other stuff like these. And you also need to know that yeah. So the reason why there was a high demand was because okay, if I can show you the map, I'll show it to you. Don't worry, guys. Okay. So this is the opposite. If I can just show it. Anyway. So this right here is Portugal. Portugal wanted to. Yeah, there it is. So all the spices were here in India, and over here in Europe they don't have the spices, and so they would have to go through here and through the Ottomans and through the Italians just to get to the Europeans. Now, in order to get from here to here, the Ottomans controlled this area, so therefore they controlled the trade route through here. So they made it very expensive for the Italian merchants, who sold it to the Europeans for an even higher price. So they were making a lot more than they were selling, which is a bad thing. Also, I just need to know. I just need to note to you guys, to whoever's watching, if you have any questions, just type it in the chat. Anyway. Okay, one more thing. Yeah, so this is the main reason, number one reason. Now, the second reason is that this crap, all this entire stuff, happened right after the Crusades. So they were very religious and zealous, and they wanted to conquer more lands that aren't Christian and wanted to convert them, and they wanted to spread Christianity all around like bacteria. So yeah, they wanted to spread around Christianity. They wanted to trade spices and other stuff. And they also just wanted glory. They wanted prestige and awesomeness. So God, glory, and gold. Yeah, that part is important. So you might be wondering, who started who got the ball rolling? Who was the one who started this whole thing? Now, that person is Henry the Navigator. You can see his face over there. It's right there. Prince Henry the Navigator. So Prince Henry, he was a guy. He lived from 1394 until 1460. He was called the Navigator, even though he never actually went on voyages and explored. He actually, funded the exploration trips and founded a navigation school, which is very important. And what else? That's about it. Also, hilarious fun fact: all this exploration stuff at that time, it didn't make any profits, so he died in debt, and the Portuguese had to spend 60 years to repay it off, which is hilarious. And also, you need to know something else about him. Here's the map again. You see that this part is Africa, and he created a lot of trade posts over there. But this wasn't India. India's over there. Also, this map looks very complicated in the backwards side, but you just gotta know. You could like create trade posts here, explored some here. That's it. Also, I just gotta spread the word around about my stream. Anyway, so yeah, that's the base information. And wait, yeah, that's about it. So Prince Henry, why they explored, you gotta know this stuff. You also gotta know that Portugal was the one who they were the most important colonizers other than Spain. So after Prince Henry died and stuff, and only explored half of Africa, the other side, west side, there was also some guy named Bartholomew Diaz. You just gotta know Diaz. Okay, so here's Henry, Diaz, Vasco Gama, someone else, yeah. So these are the Portuguese guys. There, the Portuguese guys. So Henry and Diaz. Okay, so Diaz, he was the person who wanted to prove that Africa can be rounded. So if you can look back to the map again, he wanted to prove that Africa can be rounded and can go over there, because everyone thought it was physically impossible, even though it was. So, and get the map again. Okay, so you gotta know that as he was going through the trade route here, he tried to go forward here, but oh crap, hold on, my connection is bad. Hold on. Okay, just reconnect, sorry. Anyway, so he tried to go over here, and then a bad storm happened. He thought that he was going over there, but he actually, in actuality, he was going over there. And then another storm happened, and he landed over there. And here is called the Cape of Good Hope, which is where the Mister actually is from. And he named it the Cape of Good Hope because he found hope after the storm. Okay, I just need to give myself some H2O because this is exhausting as all hell. Okay. So what else you gotta understand about so after the Diaz discovered that he could be rounded, he died in a storm. How ironic, because a lot of storms. Okay. So what else? After Diaz was Vasco da Gama. Vasco da Gama was important. He was actually more important than Diaz, because he was the person to actually discover in the trade route through India. So I'm too tired to point out the map. Let's see it. So he was the person to go over there and reach India. And when he reached India and to the port town of Calicut, he forced the Indians to actually trade with him. And this entire expedition, it costs him a lot, but after he got the spices and jewels and other stuff, anyway, after he got all the jewels and stuff and spices and the stuff that the Portuguese actually needed, the the price of that was 60 times more than the cost of this expedition. So the Portuguese made a lot of the cheddar cheese money, a lot of money, and this was very profitable. So this is why Vasco da Gama was important. Now we're gonna go to the Spanish boy. What's his name? Christopher Columbus, and he's the only person you have to know about the trade, the trade, the stupid trade route. Okay, so we did the Portuguese. We're gonna do Spanish, and then afterwards, we're gonna do the French, Spanish, no, the French, English, and the Dutch. They're kind of important, but not really. I highly doubt they're gonna be on the test. So Spain, no. So there was a guy named Christopher Columbus, and I'm sure you've heard of him. Maybe not, maybe yes. And he was from Italy, and he was. And he basically proposed to the Portuguese king, oh wait, maybe we can instead go around the world in order to get to India. Therefore, the trade route would be so much easier. The Portuguese was like, hell no, we're too busy making the trade route through Africa. We don't have enough time for a mess. They refused the thing. They refused this offer. And then he went to Spain, and they went to the Spanish king, and he's like, hey, listen, bro, my man, my home dog, what's up? Can you please fund my trip to go around India, to the East Indies? And the Spanish king agreed. So therefore, I, however, cannot find a direct map through. Where the hell is it? I cannot find it. I can only find the map throughout the world. Map? Okay, there it is. Now, this is the map of the world. Now, here's his plan, Christopher Columbus. So you can clearly see that this is Spain over there. So his plan was in order to get through all the way there to India, therefore making it a very easy, profitable trade route through Spain or Portugal. The Portuguese king disagreed, like we said, and the Spanish king agreed. So his plan was to go there and there. However, something blocked him, and you can clearly see what blocked his entire trade route. Freaking America. So, meaning that this trade route would be very hard to get. Forget what I said, just like 1 moment. Should I have lost my train of thought? Hold on. Let me just try to find here. Okay, so he discovered America. He went to the Bahamas, I think. Yeah, in Bahamas, and he basically he colonized a lot of areas and died still thinking that he landed in India, even though he landed on the West Indies or the Americas. So one more thing you gotta know. Yeah. So after Christopher Columbus discovered discovered America. You see here, I can find it. Anyway, that doesn't matter. So after he did it, the Portuguese claimed that they discovered the East Indies first, even though that the Spanish discovered it first. There was a big confusion, you see. Both of them thought that they discovered India, so they wanted to divide the territories. No, they didn't want to divide the territories. Forget what I said. So the rivalry between Spain and Portugal rose because they wanted to know who owned the land, Portugal or Spain. Because the Portuguese claimed that they discovered it first, but the Spanish said that, oh no, we discovered it. So there was going to be about like an all-out war until the Pope, His Holiness, came to save the day. And he told them, okay, listen, guys, we can't have war here. This is a Christian server. And they decided that maybe we should divide the territories for the Spanish and for the Portuguese. This would be called the Treaty of Tordesillas, which is like the tortilla in the burrito, but it's actually the Tordesillas. Anyway, the Treaty of Tordesillas is important because it divided the territories, and Portugal got like half of Brazil, whilst the Spanish got everything. They got everything. Yeah, so they got everything for this territory, but they got only like half of Brazil, though it was pretty equal since the Portuguese made a crap ton of money from Indians anyway. So they didn't complain much. They did complain one time, and the line extended for like this much. Okay. Lesson number 2. No, not lesson number 2. Okay, so I finished about Christopher Columbus finished. Now we're on to the other Europeans. I'll just put a board face there. So the other Europeans, you need to know that the Dutch, they created their own East India Company, and over here in the Malacca region, and this place had a lot of spices, so it was called the Spice Islands, and they profited a lot. They also had enough money to create the largest, and I repeat, the largest navy in the world. For now. Don't worry. The English will still have the large navy, but they were pretty profitable and powerful. And also the territory of South Africa, it was disputed a lot because for a moment the French owned it, and then the other moment the Dutch owned it, and then the English owned it. So a lot of different places colonized it. And what else? Oh yeah. So that's all you need to know. They also created a lot of trade posts in India, but you know that already. Okay, so this is the lesson 1 done. I finished it. Done. So I'm gonna go on to Ming, which is China. That's like part 2. Now, if you guys have any other questions, answer right now, and yeah, just ask right now any questions that you have on the European trade routes and the exploration, and I'll try to answer them as best as I can. Because guys, if you ask me on WhatsApp again, I'm gonna be seriously annoyed. Yeah, I'm gonna try to inform everyone. Okay, so Robaba just informed me that she doesn't have any questions. So that's it. If you guys ask me on WhatsApp, I will not answer. Okay, fine, I'll answer, but I'll be really mad, like really bitter. Okay, so now we have China, Ming. Ming is kind of important, not really. So let me set the stage here. The Mongolians just conquered China, and the Chinese were pretty, annoyed about that, so they wanted their territory back. So some guy named Hangu, a peasant leader, commanded a rebel army and driven out the Mongols from China, and therefore he established the Ming Dynasty, which is pathetic, but kind of good. Not really. Anyway, so Hangu ruled over China this time and made his capital to Nanjing. Nanjing means southern capital, so he made it the south. And the reason why is because he was afraid that the Mongolians would invade again, even though they would never. and he reformed a lot. And as you can see here, yeah, he reformed agriculture, respected traditions, brought stability to China, and became a ruthless tyrant. And he was already, died. He died because he was such a ruthless ruler and cruel, and he executed a lot of officials. So very close summary. He was a peasant's son. He commanded a rebel army, got China, ruled over Nanjing, reformed stuff, agriculture, tried to, and he became a ruthless tyrant, died, and then his son, Yung Lu, ruled. And the Yung Lu ruled Beijing. Now he made his capital to Beijing because he wasn't afraid of Mongols like his father. Anyway, so Yang Lu basically had a lot of curiosity about the outside world and wanted to explore, but not like the Europeans. See, the difference between the European exploration and the Chinese exploration, they're very, very clear. You need to know that. The Europeans wanted to explore because hold on, I'm reconnecting. Okay, anyway, yeah. Anyway, the Ming, they wanted to explore because they explored because they wanted to bring tributaries and bring gifts and stuff, and to show that they're the boss around here. They're the big brother of the Asians. They basically wanted to prove that they're superior and wanted to make more tributaries. So how did this exploration mission go? A guy named Zheng He, commanded the 7 voyages, and these treasure ships were so large that, look, this is Christopher Columbus's ship and this is Zheng He's ship. That is a big ship. That is one of the biggest ships ever. Okay, so yeah, Zheng He made some missions, explored a lot, showed their superiority, but a lot of Chinese officials said, maybe we're making too much. I mean, it's costing us too much money. It should be used on China instead. So then the exploration just died out. Nothing came from it, and that's about it. And that's it. They withdrew to isolation. Now, China's trade policies were very, very low. They only had some trade routes. Not trade routes, trade ports. Somewhere else, I think it was Canton. Yeah, Canton, Macau, and Ningbo. Those were the only trade routes. Nothing else. And what else? Yeah. So in reality, trade force. Yeah. So there was a lot of trading happened, but not to China that much from foreign power. Therefore, their influence could not extend to China. It extended to India a lot. Like, here's the thing you need to understand very clearly. The Indians, they weren't isolated. They were very open and offered lands to the Europeans. And look what happened. They took them over, they caused havoc and made them poor countries. And the Chinese, they were isolated. And they were pretty prosperous. Their population grew, and a lot of stuff happened. They were an economic power, and they were pretty good. So this is my argument for that isolation is better than exploration. Anyway. Okay, what else? Yeah. Okay, so that's okay. Yeah, we have one more thing about the Ming Dynasty. So since they were pretty corrupt and very, very, very bad rulers, the Manchus, the northern guys, the North China, invaded Ming and became the new Qing Dynasty, the Qing Dynasty. And this Qing Dynasty would rule for more than 260 years. and expand the Chinese borders to Taiwan, Chinese Central Asia, Mongolia, and Tibet. So they would expand the empire a lot, like a lot. And what else? The first Shangzi, blah blah, reduced. Zhangzi made self prosperous. He was pretty good. He hung around the Forbidden City, and the Forbidden City is in China. It's where the emperor and royalty lived. That's all you need to know. What else? And that's about it. The Manchus, no, I mean the Qing dynasty. They continued the isolation, and then what else happened? Oh yeah. So the British, so like we're skipping like 300 years away. Okay, I'm so bored. Okay, so 300 years away, the British and the Americans and other countries, they wanted more trade. So the Opium Wars happened. I'm not gonna explain too much about it, but it was pretty cool. The Opium Wars was to create more trade routes in China, and they lost. So therefore, China became less isolated, and I think that's when the Qing dynasty ended. Oh my God! I'm done with the Chinese. Now we're on to Japan. Now, do you guys have any questions for Japan? I'll ask right now. So that's. Do you guys have any questions for the Chinese? Ming or Xing? Okay, I'm gonna write some notes here so that I can look forward. Let's look here. Ming, Zheng He, no. Hangwu, Yonglu, Zhonghe. Okay, wait, hold on. What questions do you have? Anyway, while this happens, anyway, so the people who I just typed in the chat right now, they're the most important guys you need to know about. Oh yeah, as well as Kangzi, yeah, there, Kangzi. Okay. So I'm gonna just finish Japan quick, and I'll answer your questions. Okay, Raval was typing. Hold on. Okay, she's gonna finish it. Anyway. Okay, so we have Japan left, and Japan. Oh God, I didn't study this. Okay. So Japan, they were pretty rough in a pretty rough shape in the 1500s because they were pretty divided. Now the reason why they were divided is because there was a new government system called daimyos, and daimyos became lords over their local regions, and a shogun would rule over them. This shogun would be like kind of the ruler of all of Japan, but not really. Like I don't know how to describe it, but the shoguns barely had any power over the daimyos. So the daimyos would just go on civil wars against each other, and they would just murder each other over just tiny bits of land. It was very brutal. And under this, and the emperor at Kyoto, where the shogunate was, had no power whatsoever. They were pretty pathetic. They were royalty. They had a lot of money, but they didn't have a lot of power. They were pretty weak. Okay, so the Japanese feudalism was, yeah. So the Japanese feudalism was very, very similar to the Europeans, except the Japanese had samurais, which sounds very cool, but they were just basically knights, but with like sium. And what else? I'm sorry, I'm just reading stuff. Okay, no, soldiers, yada yada. It's not important. Okay. So Toyotomi Hideyoshi. Okay, so for Japan, Toyotomi Hideyoshi was the person who managed to unite Japan, but not that much. He basically he doesn't unite it. No. Forget what I said. Forget what I said right now. Ignore everything that I just said right now. Oda Nobunaga, he was the one who defeated his rivals and seized the imperial capital of Kyoto in 1568. So he was the person to unite Japan, but not really. Like, yeah, like he was the person who defeated his rivals and became like more centralized. But he didn't unite Japan just yet. The person to unite Japan was either Tokugawa. Yeah. Tokugawa, Tokugawa. Anyway, Ieyasu was the person to finally unite Japan. And he would become the sole ruler and shogun. So there were no such thing as daimyos. Daimyos done. They were over. Oh, it's finished. And there were no. The daimyos were still existing, but they were very like local. They were at a local level. And to prevent them from rebelling, they also required that they spend every other year in the capital, even though they returned lands, they had to blah blah blah. So they just so who's the name? Yeah, Ieyasu basically tried to prevent them from rebelling and therefore making a united Japan. Sorry. So life in Tokugawa, Japan, I highly doubt that this would be in the test, this entire area. If it is, then I will kill the mister. Don't worry. I will be really mad. Kabuki theater was some like cultural stuff. That's it. That's all you need to know. Okay. Now I'm on to the final part. Excuse me. So this was the part where Japan was unified. Now we're gonna go back a few years when Japan was still ununited, and get to where they were at civil wars. Portugal came in and was like, "Hey, yo, what's up, guys? It's me, Portugal, your bestie. I'm here to give you some technology and stuff." And the Portuguese ships, they brought in a lot of like weapons and stuff, and the Japanese were very interested in it because they tried to win to be more superior technologically to their rivals. Let me try to say this in a better way. They wanted to be better than the rivals, so they were very interested in the guns because they wanted to kill them more. Yeah, that's about it. They traded a lot. They were very friendly and had a lot of fun. And then, oh god, the Christian missionaries came into Japan and they created a lot of chaos because they managed to convert a lot of people into Christianity, even though the official religion of Japan was Zen Buddhism. So a rebellion happened involving the Christians. The people had to put them down. So therefore, they were pretty bad. The stuff that happened was pretty bad. And hold on, I gotta never mind. College ended. Anyway, yeah. So rebellions happened, and the Tokugawa was forced to push them out, push the Christians out, and when he finally did, that's when Japan became completely, and I repeat, completely isolated. And yeah, there was only one port, I think. Yeah, one port, Nagasaki, and only Dutch and Chinese merchants were allowed to go into the port, and therefore they were very, very isolated. And yeah, that's about it. And then the Civil War happened. Blah blah blah. They united Japan, and that's about it. That is it. I am done. Now you can ask questions in the comments after I upload this on YouTube, or you can ask on WhatsApp. I prefer you do it on YouTube so I can become more popular. Okay, so last figureheads that you have to know about. Japan. You gotta know about Tokugawa or Odeni. Oda no Bunaka. And Tokugawa Ieyasu. And that's about it. You gotta know only about two people, and the Portuguese Christians. Okay, I'm done. Class finished, and luckily I did this less than 1 hour. It's only half an hour, so I finished. Anyway, does anyone have any questions? If you do, I'll be welcome to answer them. I'm gonna go for a while. I need to do something very quickly, and I'll come back. Don't worry, I won't go in. So in the meantime, just ask some questions on the thing. Okay, see ya. I'll come back. Don't worry. Don't worry. Hold on. Hi, Fuad. Hello?
Hello.
Hey, Fuad, you're on the live stream right now.
Yeah, I know. Hi.
Hi, do you have any questions?
Yes, I get my life. Can you hear you?
Huh?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Am I on speaker?
Yes, you're on speaker.
Can you hear me?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Hi. Anyway, Fuad, listen, do you have any questions?
Yes, please. Where are you on? Second one?
I finished.
Second lesson. Second lesson, okay?
Okay.
No question. I swear. I want to understand, like, the main
Yeah.
The Manchus. And for the Ming Dynasty, who conquered the Ming Dynasty?
No, the Ming Dynasty, they were the ones who overthrew the Mongols.
Okay, so who basically ruled?
Wait, who ruled where?
Who ruled like the Ming Dynasty?
Okay, the Ming Dynasty, you need to know about two rulers, Hung Wu
The Hongwu,
and Young Lu.
okay, Hongwu is the son, right?
Yeah.
Hongwu's son. And Hongwu was basically the ruler of the Ming Dynasty.
Yes.
Why did Hongwu become?
He became ruler
You know,
when he overthrew the Mongols, when he wanted to, gain independence from the Mongolians. He was a peasant's son.
do you know why did Hongwu become a tyrant? What problem?
No, he just became a tyrant. خلاص كده. That's all we know.
So he just became a tyrant.
Yeah, he was a ruthless ruler, but he actually he reformed some cultural stuff, but that's it. Agricultural stuff. Huh?
I'm so afraid.
I know this is very hard.
The first lesson is nothing. It's just a lot of.
Mm-hmm.
And the third one is the third one's the easiest lesson, right?
Yeah.
So the second one is.
Anyway, Fuad, do you have any more questions?
No, thank you. I'll continue to be alive.
Okay. Bye.
No. Bye. You're doing the second one, right?
I finished it.
You finished the live. You finished everything.
No, I'm in live right now, but I finished everything. I'm like, do you guys have any questions? I'm answering questions right now.
I can't understand any questions if I have questions.
Okay. Well.
One question.
Okay, what's the one question?
Like the family, like the last section, I swear, the last section.
Okay.
About Japan, about the Japanese, like what's that?
The cultural stuff.
No, what's that? Yeah.
The Kabuki theater.
Exactly.
What I said what I said right now in the live was that it can't be on the test. It cannot. The minister didn't explain anything about it, so therefore, مستحيل جدا. Like the gender and the cultural stuff, انت عارف? Yeah, you don't need to know about that. مستحيل. لا, no, there's no way.
But what do we need to know, like the Christian?
Yeah, you need to know about that. You need to know about the Civil War. You need to know about the daimyos. In the book. Fuad, listen, I explained everything. In the live chat. When I finish it, you can rewatch it.
You're gonna upload it?
Yes, I'm gonna upload it, of course. Okay.
I can watch it. How many minutes was it?
I finished at 37 minutes. Now it's 44 minutes. Talking to you.
Okay. Wait. So this is gonna be in the video? Yeah.
Yes, your face is gonna be in the video.
No, my voice.
Yeah, your voice is gonna be in the video and your profile picture. Okay, bye, Fuad.
Bye.
Okay, so that's the one question we have. Okay, you know what? You guys, ask questions in the comments, okay? Please. Don't answer them in WhatsApp. Don't ask them in WhatsApp. Okay, bye. Have a good day and stuff. Yes, I want to end the stream.